This is Dave Espino and welcome back to the Daily Hustle. In today's Daily Hustle video, I want to share with you how to write a how-to book in 5 easy steps. What I'm going to do here in this video is I'm going to go and give you a broad overview of the 5 main steps required in order to write a book. Now, there are many variations of these steps that you can follow, many different variations that I use in writing my books. This is going to give you the gist of what you need to know so that maybe the book writing process doesn't sound so scary or so foreign to you as you start on your journey of writing your own book. At the end, I'm going to share with you my book that I recently did that I'm very excited about, and it's going to give you a lot more detail about how to write your own book. So the first step in this 5-step process is to organize and develop your outline. Now, this is where a lot of people get stuck because they don't quite know how to outline a book, how to go through the process, and that kind of thing. And I actually have a few steps even before this that I wrote in my book and my online course about how to write a book that is going to help you actually write a book that sells. See, it's one thing to write a book, it's a whole nother thing to write a book that actually sells. So there is some research that you need to do ahead of time to determine that this is a viable market, that it's a hot market, a hungry market for your how-to content. Once you've got that, then you go to this step, which is organize and develop your outline. Now, often the way I develop my outlines is I simply take out a yellow pad and I start writing down every possible question somebody would have about that topic. Because my goal in my how-to book is to answer every one of those questions. And then I go through a process of prioritization to make sure that not only am I covering every question and answering every question, but I'm also doing it in a good order so that the concepts flow from beginner concepts to intermediate concepts to advanced concepts. So that's one, develop your outline. Number 2 is refine your outline. So now you want to refine, and that's the part where I just mentioned where you want to prioritize what you're doing. Next step is to write your book. Now, I had the word write in quotation marks because sometimes you're not going to write your book, you're actually going to speak your book. In the book that I just recently released, which I'll share with you at the end of this video, I actually transcribed one of my online courses. And I took that transcription and I edited it. So I didn't have to actually write it because the writing had already been done through my verbal presentation of my online course. All I had to do was get that transcribed and then get the transcript, the raw transcript, and edit it down so that it read and felt like a book. Read like a book means so that it flowed for a reader as opposed to the spoken word. And felt like a book means putting the correct headlines, chapter titles, subtitles, quotations, etc. into the book. Once that was done, I had my book. I just had to go on to the next couple of elements. You could also do it the old-fashioned way and actually write out your book. In other words, type it all out. But there are many different shortcuts and many different ways to get your book done that don't require that. And that I think, in my opinion, will help you to flow your book out onto the page more easily than actually typing it manually and that kind of thing. Next step is the final edit and formatting. This is when you do what I just mentioned, what I did with the transcript. I did some editing, I went through it, I made sure everything was correct, grammatically, spell check, make sure that it flows from one thought to the next thought, and then of course go ahead and add in the headlines, subheadlines, etc. And the final step is the cover art and the back cover information. So if you're going to do a book on Kindle, you're going to want a cover for your book, and it's going to be basically just the front cover. But if you're also going to take that same book and turn it into a CreateSpace book, which you can do, which is basically either a paperback or maybe even a hardback book that is sold on Amazon, then you're going to need a back cover and a front cover and a spine artwork. And I go into detail on how to get these done. I'm really excited to share with you my book cover because I'm very excited about the quality of it. It looks like a professional quality book you would get at a bookstore. Let me show you what that looks like. So here's my brand new book, and here is the front cover. It's titled Write a Great How-To Book Fast, and the subtitle is How to Write Books That Sell. because I didn't want to just show people how to write a book quickly. I also wanted to make sure that they had a book that actually sold, that there was a demand for. This is so important. When there's so many books out there, you want to be sure that you title it in such a way that it sells, that it reaches out to a hungry market. And sometimes a way of doing that is to have a title as well as a subtitle that is punchy and that people are interested in. So here you can see the back cover. Here's the front cover so you can get a look at it. Write a great how-to book fast. And then I have an image that is basically designed to have the connotation of speed. Of course, the guy on the laptop, and he's running, and it's fast. And then let me show you the back view. And this is where you have your author bio, and you have a little bit of a blurb about your book and the benefits that they're going to get by reading your book. So if you're interested in learning how to write a book fast, especially one that sells, because I've sold over 300,000 of my own books, so I believe that I'm qualified to be able to share this with you. If you want to check out this book, I have a link to this book below this video in the description box. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily Hustle.